Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Zainab and welcome to Finding Your Own Niche in the Bridal Industry. First of all, thank you for signing up for this webinar. I hope you get the best out of it. Okay, so let's start. So I'm going to take you through a few things in this process. Introducing myself to you, I'm Zainab Odini. What we do at TWMC. To register, you've been seeing and hearing stuff about TWMC, TWMC. I'll talk about our success stories. We'll get to the crux of the matter, which is finding your own niche, and then how to be part of us. How do you want to join the TWMC? That's the Tasha Woods Masterclass community. So let's go. Let's go to the next slide. So about Zainab. My name is Zainab. I'm a fashion designer and a creative business strategist. I have a background in, sorry guys, give me a moment. I wear glasses. Okay. Okay, so essentially, I'm introducing myself. I'm a fashion designer and creative strategist. I started as an economic research analyst and data analyst. So I worked in investment banking for a few years, and then my passion for fashion really never left, never went anywhere. I took some time off work, went to London Fashion School. At that time, I had not resigned, and I just wanted to explore my options. Plus, my bosses did not approve my resignation. Like, no, Zainab, you're a star investment banker. You can't just leave. So I did go to fashion school. I loved it, as in it sort of fueled my interest, and I'm like, no, there's no way, fashion or nothing. Came back. I think it took another year of. They gave me over a year of leave of absence from work, and after that, I resigned. I was never going back. So I founded Tasha Woods Bridal. It was such a beautiful journey of all sorts of beautiful incidences that led to me owning one of the leading bridal uh, companies or firms in the whole country. And I'm very grateful and proud of all the work that we've done in Tasha Woods. Recently, 2 years ago, I started TW Masterclass Community out of it was a sort of loneliness, a boredom. I needed to meet people like me that shared interest in the bridal industry, not just business owners, because I saw a lot of people were business owners. I needed to meet people that were interested in technical growth. I dared to see people that built capacity. I wanted friends I could talk to about nitty gritty. It wasn't about the glitz and the glam for me alone. No, I'm very deep and going to, deep interest. So in that loneliness, I wanted a community. Even if I needed to train them, if I needed to do all the work of, pouring into them, I had to. So we kicked off with the art of bridal design and brand positioning with Zainab. And it's been very interesting. We slowly but surely, grinding, building a community of like-minded people. So welcome to the first webinar at the TW Masterclass community. Next slide. So what do we do? We inform and sensitize. We do this through our Instagram pages. My personal Instagram page, I am a sucker for inspiring and informing, sensitizing people towards bridal fashion. That's at Zainab Oduni on Instagram, Art of Bridal Design on Instagram, and the Tasha Woods Masterclasses on Instagram. So we have some courses which I've earlier mentioned: the Art of Bridal Design coaching. The art of bridal design comes up as a coaching and a course, while brand positioning is exclusively a coaching course. Mentorship, the various courses and coaching come with mentorship sessions, and we have peer-to-peer mentorship in the masterclass community. So the idea is to pair the former graduates and the new incoming students together. They can, if you look up to someone in the community, talk to them, let them mentor you. There's nobody that can do it better. If you want me to mentor you, you can send an email to masterclass@toshawoods.com, or you can sign up for my courses and coaching, which naturally includes mentorship sessions. Collaboration is a big thing at Tosha Woods Masterclass community. We are building and engineering a system that allows you collaborate. So some of the former course participants have enjoyed some beautiful collaboration with other people. For now, it was quite informal. When people reach out to me, photographers, makeup artists, stuff like that, I've assigned different people's stuff. Do you understand? Opportunities that have come to me and I thought is of a student that best fits, I just direct them to, and it's been brilliant. But I just thought we can take this up a notch. It can be structured. If you're part of the community, you should be able to have cool benefits, things that you probably would not be able to reach on your own or by yourself. Because you are part of this community, those opportunities will now be structured and made available to our members for growth and development, really. So consulting is a big part of the work that I do. I'm leveraging on my 15 years experience in bridal and 20 years experience in fashion to give you constructive advice in my consulting sessions. 30 minutes with Zainab, that's a free session. Take advantage of it. Trust me, it's brilliant. And if you want the paid 90-minute session, you email masterclass@toshawoods.com, or you check the link in my bio on how to reach me. So next slide. Our success stories, this is just the visual representation of some of the brilliant things and ideas, concepts our students have been able to. Follow the masterclass page on Instagram for more. I showcase former course participants. People have gone from being confused to actually doing top-notch work. Next slide. Now, why are we here today? We are here to talk about finding your niche in the bridal industry. Now, why this topic? What I realize is that the burden of growth is quite a heavy one. I've experienced that burden, and it's almost impossible to unpack if you don't make a deliberate effort to actually unpack it. As in, it's not rocket science. Anyone who's trying to carry a load that is bigger or heavier than them or their capacity will eventually just crumble. So niching is that brilliant way that you unpack the load and you pick what best you can carry. Now, it's not advisable to randomly select something and say, oh, this is what I can carry. This is what I feel like carrying. And in my interaction with a lot of course participants, they glamorize the carriage. They think in their head, like, this looks cool. The people excelling at this look cool. And then they begin to pursue it. So, okay, don't let me go into too much stories at this point. But yeah, so that's what really led me to creating this webinar, to teach people how to find their own niche so growth can be easier and more seamless. Now, I'm going to do it in two ways now. First of all, I'm going to talk about Tosha Woods' niche. How did I find, what's my story? What's my niching story? Because I had to find my own niche and stay comfortable in that zone. Then we're going to go to how to find your own niche. Stay with me. Okay, the TW niche story. I'm going to talk about my love for fabrics. I love everybody that knows me. I have a fabric shrine, is what I call it. A few people get in and like, oh, fabric vendors don't even have the stock that you have. I remember saving towards, okay, so 300,000 naira for a 5-yard fabric about 10 years ago was major cash. So that was what I would do. Those were sort of fabrics I would buy. I would rather save, go on thrifts. That's what Yoruba call ajo. That's like an investment group where people put money together. I would put money together every time to ensure I have the top of the range fabrics. That's who I am. Coming from a mom that's a fabric wholesaler herself, it's easy to see where my growth and my love for patterns fabric have come from. But I didn't really realize that was my niche. What I noticed was clients that I was doing other jobs for, any other thing, would come and tell me, oh, I used to take fabrics from people and then make their bespoke designs. And they'll tell me, when I have tough fabrics or patterns that I don't know how to lay it, I'm like, this one is coming to Zainab. So they were grooming me. They were already telling me what my niche is. So I would laugh it off, but these things that are sticking in my head. What is your strength? Fabric, use of fabric. Why were they coming to you? Fabric. And I'll tell you my story of fabric as well. Getting my first bridal order was because I was wearing a chiffon skirt, a very lovely, soft and flowy chiffon skirt that the lady apparently was into in that time. That was a long time ago. Everyone was into Grecian bridal designs. Not many local designers were doing it. The foreign brands that were designer brands were so out of reach for people, and it was a no-brainer. Just seeing that fabric on me, the girl was like, there's no way. She talked me 2 weeks of literally toasting me to take on a challenge of making a wedding dress when I actually had not made any wedding dress before then. Any other person, I made mine, but that's mine, and I didn't do anything too complicated. Anyway, the use of fabric drew her to me. And then when I was doing my ready-to-wear items as well, I used to use lace fabrics or some type of intricate. I would always pick something that had more than one thing going on. I don't really like a mono, like one pattern of fabric. I don't really like that. What I like is more than one pattern sort of juxtaposing or against each other. It's interesting to my own mind's eye. So when I made those ready to wear, do you know that people then requested for them in white? At least 3 to 4 ladies requested for them in white and then went on to wear them for their court wedding ceremonies. Some people requested in gold for bridesmaids dresses. These were meant to be normal occasion wear. So from that time, my interests were signaling bridal. Do you understand? And then they were signaling different areas in bridal design. Then the silhouettes as well. Fabrics and silhouettes, these are things that come up in art of bridal design extensively. But to tell you a bit about it, silhouette is basically a shape. It's the shape of a garment or a bridal design. Those shapes are influenced by your body type, should be influenced by it. You don't just pick a silhouette. You can like a silhouette, but you need to understand what works with your body type. So very early on in my career, I was very intrigued about silhouettes and body types. I would deliberately select the sort of silhouettes that a lot of people did not go for. Drop waist ball gowns were not in vogue. It's been a classic on my TW product range for years now, over 10 years. So, okay, yeah, fantastic. One of the images of me with a model wearing a drop waist ball gown was over 10 years ago, and that dress can still be worn. In fact, it's one of those designs that I would love to remake in recent times. So, I did silhouettes that most people ran away from and made me really interesting. Overall aesthetics, I would generally love soft looking things, soft landing looks. I didn't go for the edgy, hardcore. So even if the concept is hard, you will see me softening with flowers, pearls, details, very, very bridal. Now, my communication is a big part of the reason for the growth of TW. And all of this I got from feedback. People will tell me when they've experienced other brands that, oh my God, I wish I knew you earlier. Maybe someone has ordered their wedding dress and I'm making the reception just like, oh my God, it was so seamless. You did it, you did it. So there was always good feedback around the way I handled clients and customer service, which is a main part of Touch Your Woods now. So anyone working with Touch Your Woods now knows that they have to treat clients as royalty. So all of this sort of came together to form my own special niche, which is handling people of various body types, emphasis on the silhouettes. I would create all sorts of silhouettes to work with your body type. So it became, tall ladies came to me at Touch Your Woods. People with tummies, sometimes that was a major thing. And I'm not your snatch queen. What I do is I take in enough to curve your body out. I don't give you fake hips. I don't give you fake bum. So people coming to me want to look natural. Many of them are women around 30 to 35. I wasn't attracting the younger ladies because they want another level of superficial that I'm not ready to deliver on. So you can imagine what my preferences gave me an age group I mentioned. My preferences gave me body types. So I got curvy brides, people that they weren't. So snatching is different from curving. Making sure someone is comfortable in it's understanding the technique called contouring. So that's a big part of my work. Those people come to me. So those are two of my niches. Overall aesthetics, people that want to enjoy bridal garments that look like wedding dresses, not reception looking or funky stuff, more traditional looks, they come to me. So I found my own niche, literally. Now, going forward, how can you find your own niche? Now, this is where we are going to go into detail. How to find your own niche. That's creating your own market segmentation. In the earlier slide, what I explained to you is my market segmentation. The age range is 30 to, let's just say 30 to 39. They are not the younger brides, and they are not really the older brides. They are more traditional taste people. That's my market segment. Their body types are curvy, they are tall. They are those body types that are not in the general markets. Okay, based on my own strengths. Do you understand? Now, going to your own strength, you have to research the market. What is the market? What's the market like? What are the segments or sectors in the market? You need to do your own research. And to do that, you can join and go on blogs, bridal blogs. There's Bella Naija, there's Wedding Digest, there's Love Weddings. You can go on international blogs as well. There's Muna Luchi, which is fantastic. It's multicultural. So you would find a lot of Nigerian, West African, Indian, and all multicultural. That's their niche, really. So you see what niching does. It puts your name in people's minds. So research your market. Online is fantastic, but attend weddings. When you are invited or a friend of yours has access to the bridal community, attend. It's beautiful market research to be on ground. What are people wearing? What percentage of people, like you have a mind and you are thinking, okay, at this wedding there's one bride, there are 10 bridesmaids typically, or there are 8 bridesmaids typically. Friends of the bride look like 50 to 100. The wedding guests look like 200. Which of these markets look lucrative to me? You are researching your markets. Do you understand? Okay, we're going to discovering your passions and pay attention to your skill sets. Okay, this is a big one. Your skill set is your passion is what keeps you going. It's that drive that just is the fuel. It just keeps you running. Your skill set, however, is the vehicle. Do you understand? So you have a car and you need fuel for that car. Your fuel doesn't work without your vehicle, your car, and your car doesn't work without your fuel. So it's important that you get these two right. Getting your car right is getting your skill set. What do you have in your hands that you can use? So this can range from what I explained to you earlier, fabrics. I love fabrics. I have an eye. Trust me, if you go fabric shopping with me, you would be tired because I will sit down and zoom in on a row, and I can select two, three fabrics that will knock a look out of the park. And you're like, how did she do that? I spent years training my eye on fabric. Then I research online. That's a skill that I don't take for granted today. Pattern making, it's a big skill that I have and I enjoy. I learned it. I understand how to make patterns. And if you don't know, you can decide that you want that to be your strength, or you decide to outsource that bit of your work. But I had a fantastic opportunity of learning that much earlier in my career. And more importantly, when I reached certain challenges, like when I was supposed to make a dress for Tools, I had not met her, but her measurement was amazing. As in, for client confidentiality, I wouldn't release the actual figures. But imagine a waist to hip of over 15, 16 differential. That was major. I went back into my books and like, okay, what determines waist shaping? And then I tweaked the calculation, and that was it. I could work with all sorts of curvy body types. That skill set alone launched my international career, because a lot of the ladies in the African American community have curvy bodies. These are Africans that have relocated to the diaspora, and they want people to understand their body types. Skill set is major in your niching process. What are your skill sets? You need to write them down. What are you passionate about? I'm generally passionate about people looking and feeling good. That's a passion. Do you understand? So it's going to keep fueling me. When I'm tired, I just like, oh, no, I need to do better. When I'm fitting a client and I feel like, okay, I'm tired, I still go on, because I want you to feel good. I didn't just say looking good. I said feeling good. So when you're not feeling good about your look, no matter how beautiful the work I've done is, I'm worried, I'm concerned, and I begin to ask questions. I'm more like in therapy with you until you are happy. That's my strength. Do you understand? And communicating with people is also a strength that I have. Communicating and making people feel better, having good, clear conversations with people. I understood those parts, and it was able to help me find what I'm good at. Now, you need to find a point of intersection between your skill sets. And so for this is quite interesting, because from time to time, your skill sets will change, will evolve over time, which means your niche area can evolve. So finding a niche is not something that boxes you. Is something that helps you grow. I started out doing bridesmaids dresses. The only cut I understood how to construct was the armhole princess seam. That was fantastic for bridesmaids dresses, not wedding dresses. Some wedding dresses is restrictive when it comes to wedding dresses, but for bridesmaids dresses and maybe other bridal garments is beautiful. But when you're going into wedding dresses and reception, you're looking at shoulders, something tightened. You're looking at corsets. Those are the things you're looking at. So I had to evolve over time. But bridesmaids dresses was my niche at that time, and special occasions, people would come flood me for them. But guess what? Some of those people were now looking to wedding dresses as well. Remember, I said I met someone who loved my use of fabric and asked me to make her wedding dress. In that process, I was doing a lot of bridal trains, about 3 other bridal trains. The bride suggested that, oh, she can do this, she can make a dress, she can make a dress. That was it, my business started. So you see how my skill set, I niched on. It doesn't mean, this doesn't mean that my destination was bridesmaids. Do you understand? But bridesmaids offered a niche at that point that launched me into a bigger niche, wedding dresses. wedding dresses, when I was problem solving in wedding dresses, my skill set there launched me into a bigger niche, international brides. Do you understand? That's how niching works, really. So then you find your playground, and this is something I introduced. If you see a lot of niching documents, because I read a lot, I did not find this. And this is really important because we are teaching, anything that I talk about is from my perspective and how these things have contributed to the success of my brand. I finding a playground is brilliant. Is not just cost effective, is an efficient way to grow and grow along with your team. What I mean about finding your playground is like finding a sample audience. What are you already doing? What are you already interested in? Use it as your playground. I'll give you a very simple example. If you have been making trad is a large market in Africa and all over the world, actually. Anywhere Africans and particularly Nigerians are, there will be parties and there will be owambes, and there's a larger percentage of people wearing these outfits. Now, what are you doing about that owambe economy? Are they coming to you? And what are you using it for? Here's what I use it for. I use it as a training ground. Owambe gave me clientele from back to back. They were just consistently coming with their fabrics. I learned, in fact, I saw some fabrics I'd never seen before. Before then, I'm like, what's this? I learned how to use the complex, the simple, and I wasn't spending my own money. I was working with what they brought to me, and it afforded me that chance of working with other, because I couldn't do it alone. There was just a lot. I could employ a lot of staff. It helped me grow my business. So that was my playground. But the interesting thing about my owambe is it wasn't traditional owambe. It was still giving vibes. It was still giving bridal vibes. It was still, the owambe people were still referring brides to me, because the common comment was, you know what, Zainab will snatch your bustling. And so that was a technique I got from my own pattern making. And that was not what I was taught at school, though. These were things that I evolved into. When you start solving problems, you're like, okay, it shouldn't be like this, it should be like this. You will come up with your signature pieces. So my signature style in trad was that your cups were fantastic. Before it started, it was a thing to snatch people or to wear braless clothes. My clothes were the original braless. So people will now marvel at it and then tell their friends. And it was most of the aunties will talk to their best friends. Oh, your daughter wants to get married. That was how I got a lot of my high class brides. It was the women that I sold the traditional garments for. Over time, I evolved, and guess what? I wasn't doing it anymore, or I am not sewing that anymore. So niching is interesting. It's ever evolving. It doesn't box you in a corner, but it gives you enough clarity and understanding your strengths at that point to take your journey. Now, I said test your results, rinse and repeat. So this is what happens in a typical exercise to niching. You write down your skills, you observe, you ask a group of people, you have a sample audience, which could be your range from your family, friends, other business associates, which could be fashion stylists, industry professionals as well that have a good eye. What do you think? Particularly people that have worked with you. What was my strength? Is that simple? What do you think? What's my strength, my weakness? Write them down. Stay away from your weaknesses. Except it's a weakness that can make or break your career. But focus on your strengths and do more of it. Find your passion. What are you passionate about? Now, passions can range from making people look and feel good to sensitizing people. Some people are chief empowerment officers. If you know you're someone like that, why don't you empower people? You don't need to know everything. Find the right set of people. There are so many talented people that cannot even afford to go to fashion school. Find a genius way of enrolling them and going into contracts with them that you're going to work for me. This and this and this is what you're going to do. I mean, I said a genius way. I'm not telling you to do exactly what I said. Find a way to get them to work, empower them, grow your brand, do it consistent. Do you understand? That's your passion. You see that passion doesn't have to be, you just have to be honest with yourself. I call it the honest work. You have to sit down and be honest with yourself. What is this? What is that? And how can I use it for my progress? So these are the simple ways of finding your niche and the steps you can take. Now, before we totally cement on that, I'd like to go to the next slide that talks about the bridal industry. So the question now is how, okay, so let me quickly take this, which is research your market, take your passion and what is your passion or skill, write them down, highlight them properly, and look at the demand. You know, your market research ultimately tells you what demand is looking like in the industry. In that demand, what can I plug in as my niche? Yes, white wedding dresses are beautiful, and I've learned how much I can earn from making them. Am I poised to make white wedding dresses? Am I in the right position? Do I even have the right studio that attracts the sort of clientele I'm looking for or can keep and maintain that? Do you understand? So you need to do that work. In the middle of there somewhere is your niche, what you are good at, what you are capable of doing, and what people are demanding for. So if what you are capable of doing, people are not demanding for it. If you like to do like multicolored wedding dresses, you do know that we have some designers that have a niche in that. A few design, there are brands like Monique Louis. There's a Bohemian brand as well. I forget right now. They do multicolored dresses because their niche is destination brides and weddings that are like vineyard weddings. There are some brands that's niched out. So if that's the sort of wedding you're looking for, those are the brands you would go and purchase your wedding dress from. So for people like that, the question is there a demand for that in your area? So niching is a little bit tricky. It has to be something that's great, but are people asking for it? Or are you going to have to create that demand? Make all those choices and do that. The next is to validate your idea. So validating your idea means, sorry, can we go back to here? Validating your idea means test, rinse, and repeat. Now you have a solid idea. I want to make trad. Diola Sego is #1 in Nigeria now for trad. She's got beautiful, timeless. She has owned that niche. So the question now, I've seen a success story here. I love what they do. I have what it takes. When you're doing trad, you need to be a very expressive person. You need, bigger is better in trad, while in white weddings, subtle can be an advantage. Do you understand? So your passion and skill, is it gearing towards that? Now, your skill means how well are you versed in the fabrics used in that traditional sector? If someone like Rovero, George by Rovero, yeah, she's a fantastic person and a friend of mine. Anyway, she does trad, but that's Igbo trad. She has a skill fabric. She's not a fashion designer, but she's a fashion stylist. Her strength is the knowledge of that culture. That is a strength. Her skill is fabric sourcing. Is there a demand? This babe created demand. She went on a styling expedition, and now people started to purchase. So I've gone into case studies. I'm not in class here. Okay, anyway, let's roll along. Then after you validate your idea and there's demand for it, then there you go. You have found your own niche. So let's move on very quickly. Know your industry. Okay, knowing your industry is dating back to research your market. It's the same thing. Research your market, know your industry. When you research your market, you know your industry. So what's going on in bridal industry? As I said, it has evolved over the years. And specifically, I'm speaking about the African bridal industry. I'm speaking to Nigeria. I'm speaking to Africans in Africa and Africans in diaspora. What is going on in this industry? There's a white wedding industry, there's a traditional dresses industry, there's reception dresses. Reception dresses are a big thing for Africans, not so for the white community. They are the wedding tradition there is lighter. You wear your wedding dress, and sometimes many times people don't change. So imagine not knowing your niche is Africans and you are making reception dresses. You are in a predominantly white community, and you think they'll patronize you. Maybe some of them will, but you most probably will run dry on that market. So bridesmaids dresses. Bridesmaids is a big culture to the foreigners and now to us Nigerians, but yeah, it's a big culture everywhere, but the importance placed on bridesmaids differ from culture to culture, and the importance is definitely going to impact on the budgets and how much the price is spent on them. You need to know your market and your industry. Pre-wedding dresses are a big thing for us now, especially people that use bridal stylists. It's a way of announcing the wedding beforehand. When you're working with professionals, they take you through a process. It's not just, oh, I booked my wedding dress. There's an announcement that comes before. These are the, beyond just taking pictures and documenting, these are the, I won't call it intellectual property, but these are the visual properties used throughout the bridal campaign. It's like a campaign. I'm getting married, invites, save the dates. On the wedding day, there'll be like backdrops showing the couple, information on social media, announcing the wedding announcements. Oftentimes, pre-wedding dresses, pre-wedding, what I mean is pre-wedding images are done, and they have to dress up for them. So that's actually a market. And not just that, they are pre-wedding activities. Depending on your cultural biases, a lot of people doing destination weddings have to have pre-wedding events. It's almost a week of all sorts of events they have to dress for them. While brides in the country don't usually, they do bridal showers. Do you understand? So you need to know your industry, what's going on there. You need to understand what is being worn for which is why you need to go online. You need to attend weddings. You need to interview people, particularly wedding planners. They know what goes on. You need to talk to bridal stylists, what's going on, to understand the trend from time to time. That's knowing your industry. When you know your industry, going back to the niching exercise is easier for you. So there goes the end of my presentation on finding your own niche. Again, welcome to this session with me at Tosha Woods Masterclass, and that's the community where we make you believe in your own magic. We let you understand that all that you have is already in you. You just need to understand how to hone in on it and make the best use of it. Thank you. So how to join the community, to be part of us and connect with us, you can go to twmc.toshawoods.com. On that page, you would find, I believe from Monday, how to join the masterclass community. It's going to be awesome and life-changing. You can alternatively email masterclass@toshawoods.com, or the number on the screen, that will be +234 81 456 86105. You could send a text message and ask how to join the community again. So join the masterclass community today on Instagram at Tosha Woods Masterclasses, on TikTok as Tosha Woods. So thank you very much. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed the show. Do you have questions? Anyone has questions, comments? You can put it in the chat room. Oh, wow. Grace Chisholm says, I finally found someone who's thinking like I do. I was thinking that I was weird. Oh, wow. I thought I was weird as well. I felt very lonely, and I realized that the Nigerian industry had their own concept, or the African industry had their own concept of what bridal fashion should be, and I had what I wanted to be. So I'm happy to find like-minded people here. Once again, my name is Zainab Oduni, and I'm the founder and creative director, Tosha Woods Bridal, Rouge by Tosha Woods, and Tosha Woods Masterclasses. Thank you. So if you want to have like further discussions, you can book 30 minutes with Zainab. On the link is in my bio, zainab.oduni on Instagram. You can email masterclass@toshawoods.com. If you want a private session, that'll be a 90-minute session. That's a paid session. However, the free session will be aired, and the whole point is to help other people who may have the same challenges that you have. So when I answer your question, I would film my response. I wouldn't film you, or I respect the privacy of your brand and yourself, but I would make sure other people benefit from that response on IG and TikTok. Okay, I've had an amazing time this afternoon once again. Thank you for joining, and I hope you find your niche sooner than later so you can grow, you can develop your skills, you know where to pivot into, you know what to reduce, you know what to do more of, and you can find your own footing in the bridal industry at large. Thank you very much, and have a good afternoon.